Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'll be showing you how to make a wooden survival treehouse with your very own water slide. Just before we start building everybody, here are all of the materials that we will need throughout the build. Please do make sure that you have access to all of those materials and enough of them as well. Once we have all of our materials, we can get started. I'm going to begin by placing the base shape of our trunk on the ground. This is made by placing rows of 2 oak wood on the ground in a circular shape. It's basically a square without the corners, or as I like to call it, a Minecraft circle. On top of each one of these oaks, we are going to place 15 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. If you like, you can place more than 15. I wouldn't go less than that because the trunk of the tree needs a decent amount of height so that you are able to place the spiral staircase and the hanging platform, and to make it worthwhile that we actually even have a water slide in the first place. So it needs to be quite tall. This is pretty much what I would consider the base height, the default height. If you do want to go higher, I imagine it can only look better, but I wouldn't make it any smaller than this. Once you have raised up all of your oak woods, we have the trunk of our tree. We're going to come to specifically the right side of our tree, and we're going to place oak planks on top of the right side of our tree. I want to extend the planks forwards and backwards each by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, and also backwards too. 1, 2, 3, 4. This platform has to be extended across to the left by 6 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of course, we want to extend every single one of those rows across by 6. This is going to form the main living part of the house. This is going to be where you are able to keep all of your stuff. There we go. Now, when it comes to this, we are going to take the 4 corners and we're going to raise them all up by 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. The back corners too. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. That's looking pretty good. You can even join it all together as well at the top as to form a nice solid shape. This is how I like to work usually, in nice solid shapes, kind of like this. It makes it, I think, a little bit easier to kind of come to terms with what we're building and how it's supposed to sort of look. There is going to be an entrance on the front left-hand side of this particular part of the build, so I'm actually going to place a door with a glass block just above it. To the right of this, I'm going to place a vertical row of oak wood planks like so. And I'm going to place a row of oak wood planks inside of the bottom, here, inside of the bottom of the window space just to the right of us. In addition to this, I'm going to place a glass pane right top, front and center of the front of the build, and I'm going to place an oak wood plank left and right of the pane. I don't think we will need any more oak wood planks. The left side of the build can completely be sealed up using oak planks. There's nothing really on this side except for the water slide. On the back of the build, I'm going to recommend that you copy the same large window shape that we have on the front of the build, and also the small window directly above the middle section of the build as well. The way that the window is made is by placing solid glass block on top of the left and right side of the inward placed oak with glass pane in the center. It's a different style of window that I've been playing with. What we will also be doing, but we'll do it later when we actually have the blocks, is we will be placing some oak trapdoors on the left and right, and it'll kind of give an interesting effect, I think. Well, we're now going to we could actually make the water slide portion of this, and we can kind of circle back to the rest of the build. So, the water slide is going to begin with the front door, if you can call it that. it's pretty much the exit out onto the slide. And basically, we're going to place an oak wood extending from where the actual wooden door is, and we're going to extend that oak wood to the left by 1, 2, 3, like this. We're then going to extend this oak wood plank backwards by 2, 1, 2, just like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to drop it down a level, diagonally like this, and we're then going to go left one. And the way that the water slide works is very simple. We're going to drop down another level, and then go left one. Drop down, left one, drop down, left one. Now, you'll notice that in doing it in these increments, that we are kind of like even and level with the back of the build. So what we're now going to do is we're going to take this last level part of the oak planks and we're going to extend it towards us by 2. And then we're going to start going down again, but coming forward. So we'll extend 1, we want to copy this shape, and then we kind of just want to drop it down like this, in the same even 2 block increments that we did earlier. And we kind of want to line it up with what we have up there, except for the fact that we basically just want to stop with the width of the house, if that makes sense. So you can see the slide is basically even and level with the front of the house portion. And once you do that, you basically just want to extend inwards by 2, and then start basically just coiling round, and you just want to copy the same thing that we've been doing above. So it's a very, very gradual decline, and you'll notice that once you even and level with the previous layer, we want to start coming back on ourselves again. And this is actually going to be the final part of the slide. At this point, we will actually drop to the ground here. You can see that we've got our oak. We will drop to the ground. And I think that what we're going to do with this is we're going to dig into the ground two rows and then kind of like curve around a little bit, maybe even place a little bit of oak in there. And then that is how the water slide is developed. What I would also recommend now is placing some birch planks left and right of the slide. Now, the way that I'm going to do it, and this is actually made a little bit tricky because the front part of the slide that actually connects to the house, I want it to be birch slabs like this until the slide basically starts, which is here. As soon as we start dropping down, that is where the slide sort of starts. So I kind of want the birch slabs there. And then that will have some birch fence, so it's kind of just like a little safety measure of sorts, like this. Now, what we want to do when the slide starts dropping down is we want to start using birch planks. And these birch planks are basically just going to sit above and outside of the oak plank frame that we have placed for the actual water part of the water slide. So this is going to keep the water contained. This is going to basically just be the safety measure so that all the water doesn't fall out of the slide. That's pretty much the purpose of this. And of course, it does make it look a little bit better. And we're going to need to do this on the other side of the slide as well. And well, actually, we're kind of doing it on the outside part of the slide right now, but what we have to do is we have to do it on, it's kind of like the inside part of the slide. It's actually a little bit weird, really, but I'll guide you through it. It should be rather easy. So now that you've kind of done it on, like I said, this is kind of like the outside part of the water slide, but because it curves around, it's a little bit strange. So if we come all the way back up to the top again, and we start placing our birch planks, it's pretty easy, to start off with. It's pretty simple. We're kind of just following the same sort of thing. But as you start getting into the slide, and it's kind of tricky to do it from this angle. As you start getting into it, you can see that it's basically like we're not curving around. We're kind of like going down. and sort of like trying to follow the shape of the slide at the same time. So what you'll have is kind of like this mass of birch planks, and that's pretty much like the best that we can do. So the best thing that you can really do is just try and copy kind of like the formation of the birch planks that you have on the opposite side. Kind of keep that as a guide. This is so tricky to actually place. You've got to be in like 2 places at the same time. But we'll make sure that everything looks alright, as long as water can flow in between these 2 rows of birch without falling anywhere. And the same thing for us as well, we don't want to just fall off the slide randomly. I think that this slide would get closed down if that happens. So as we slowly get to the ground, we're almost there. We'll take a look. We'll make sure that it does look pretty good. There we go. Alright, there we are. That's looking alright from this view. It's the parts that go down is what we've got to look at. So yeah, as you can see here, this is an opportunity for water to escape, so we have to just seal that up with a bit of birch. Do we have the same thing up above? No, we did a pretty good job there. So that's all we've got to do, just make sure that there's no chance for water to go anywhere. I'm going to use oakwood stairs underneath the graduations or the decline of the water slide here, just in the corners where it would go down, just to make it look a little bit better, just to kind of like put a little bit of there we go, just a little bit of flair on the decline of the slide. I quite like that. You could do the same thing as well if you wanted to with the birch planks, but I like the idea that there's contrasting shapes, so there's a contrast between like the edge of the water slide and the actual like the slide part. So I quite like that. I think that it looks quite good that way. You will also want to dig a pool at the base of the slide as well. This can be as big as you like. I'm gonna start off with like a 3x3 square here, and then maybe what I'll do is I'll dig out like the middle block here, and maybe just kind of like some of the side blocks, and kind of like dig back towards the slide a little bit here, and have it so that the wood is built into the ground. So something like this. You could even like mess it up a little bit if you wanted to. It doesn't have to be perfect whatsoever. What I think I'm also going to do is just to have like a bit of a contrast between the grass and everything like that, all of the nature that's on the ground. I'm going to place some oakwood planks inside of the pool, so that'll actually contrast with the water outside, just like that. That's looking pretty good. So the next step that we're going to work on, now that we have the way to get down, we have to be able to get back up, and that requires a couple of different things. So we're actually going to have to come all the way back up to the top of the build, and we're going to have to work on the side platform that we have going on here. So the way that we're going to do that is we are going to take the left and right sides of the main part of the house here. We want to find the third blocks in, starting from the bottom, like 1, 2, 3, and then we want to place rows of 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 oak planks. So you want to find not the first, second, but the third block in, and then place 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you want to extend each of those blocks in and then out like this, and then you want to join them together. So this is the shape that you're looking for. Very, very simple, hopefully. And then we're going to simply place the oak planks in the middle here, and this will make the platform. You can place birchwood slabs extending from the exit onto the water slide here. You can place birchwood slabs that extend around all the way the edge of this platform. So this actually you want to be able to walk on this, so it's just going to extend around in a very logical fashion like this. Oh, it just wants to join there in the corner too. What else do we want to have up here? Well, there's a little miniature portion of the house up here too. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to place a row of oakwood planks extending inwards on both these sides, the left and right, to cover up the windows. And then we're going to place one more, like this. And we're going to extend those rows outwards by 2. So 1, 2, just the rows of 3. 1, 2. And then we're going to have a door on the right side here. So we're going to have our door. And then we're going to have a row of oakwood planks between the door and the frame on the left. we want to stick a little window in this corner, and then we're going to place oak wood planks between the door and the window, and then just above here. What we then want to do is we want to add a little bit of fence, and the fence is basically just going to sit around the edge of this platform just like this, and it's just going to, there we go, just sit on the edge of this platform just like so. So that gives us something which should look like this. We're working on this quite nicely. There are two roofs when it comes to this house, and they're both made in the same way, and hopefully they're both made very easily. We're using birchwood slabs. Birchwood slabs are going to be placed on the left and right hand sides of the part of the house that just juts out here onto the balcony, and we're going to then extend these slabs inwards and upwards until they eventually meet in the middle. Just like this. They should meet in kind of like a pair like so. We want to fill in just underneath the roof here. You could even use glass block. We want to join the birch planks and the birch slabs that we have created back to the main part of the house. Like this. There we go. That looks way better. When it comes to the main part of the house, it's the same strategy. We'll be placing the birchwood slabs, extending across the tops of the oak planks like this, extending forwards over the front of the build, and then we will slowly but surely join them all together like this, extending upwards and inwards until, once again, eventually is a little bit different. They will join together in just a singular point rather than a double point over here, and then we can just extend back all of the planks and all of the slabs just like this. So it works out to be that every other block is a plank. If you want, you can simplify this by simply just using stairs, but I have rarely turned away for whatever reason from stairs for roofs, unless it's just for a little bit of variation. But for the most part, I really like the slabs. I feel as though that it just looks nicer, it's a little bit softer. That's how I feel about it, but you know, feel free to change the roof if you like. We just have to place all of these slabs. It's much easier if you place the planks first because they kind of guide the slabs in a way. There we go. So that is the main part of the house complete. That's the platform at the top of the build. That's looking pretty good. So now that we've done that, we basically just have to figure out where we are going to place the lower platform on the build and how we're going to get up to the upper platform. So that requires a little bit of counting. So make your way all the way over to the right side of the bottom of our tree trunk. We want to grab our oak planks and we want to find the 6th row in our tree trunk. So this would be the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th. We're going to place rows of 3, 1, 2, 3 oak planks extending outwards from the center of the trunk. We then also want to place rows of 3, 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3 like this, just left and right of the trunk as well. So we kind of get this gradient effect like this. I'm going to place some birchwood slabs around this, but the thing is, on the back of the platform, we want to be able to access the back part of the tree here. So we're going to place like another oak plank here. And we can even do this now, as a matter of fact. We want to place oak stairs on the sides of our tree, kind of like this. So the way that the oak wood stairs work is we place oak wood stairs on the flat, smooth parts of the tree, and then we place oak planks around, like this. So the planks go on the corners, and the oak stairs act as well as stairs. So it just kind of like curves around like this. Once you get around and you place these stairs on the front of the tree, and once again we'll place the oak wood planks like this. Once we place this is actually the final time that these stairs are actually going to go around. We want to place oak wood stairs all the way here. These stairs are going to finish up here on the right side. You can see that we're very close to our platform, to the under part of our platform. We're going to place oak planks extending down from the platform as if to meet the staircase that we have made, and we're just just going to dig inside of it like that, and we'll place some ladders that will allow us to get in. So as you can see, it's quite a varied way as to get up to the top of our treehouse. And what you do after this is up to you. So if you want, you can place some upside down stairs basically underneath the stairs that you've placed, and it'll just look a little bit better, quite honestly, if you do that. So we could even do that here too. No, but I'll leave that there. Actually, I'll leave that there. So it actually looks quite good, just like this. So you can just see it curving around, coiling around. And what we can then do is we can place some birch fence on top of the birch slabs that we have on this lower platform here. We could even make this. We could even like have it come here. So. So basically, like, you just don't fall off as you're going on the stairs. Although you have to be rather careful as you do climb up the actual trunk of the tree. We have to be able to get out onto the platform. So we're actually going to dig into our tree. We're going to place a little bit of a floor using some oak wood planks like this. We're even going to place kind of like a little window on the front of the build. Probably just like in rows of like 2 or 3, something like that. 3 is actually fine. It can connect to here. So just a row of 3 glass block like this. I want the stairs to actually be in the corner here, so it's looking pretty good like that, right? I like that. We have to be able to, of course, get from the ground up to this point. So what we'll do is we'll knock out a couple of blocks here. I'm just going to destroy the floor inside, and I'm going to place some oak planks like this. And the door's going to go directly here, and we can just build up next to the door using some actual just oak wood, and we can kind of make this look like the base of the tree. Like the tree's got some like roots that have like grown up from the ground into the base. If you did want to, you could even add some more glass blocks, say like up here, although I'm not going to because it doesn't really serve a purpose. We're going to have the door here, or actually, yeah, we could have the door there, and then we can build up some more oak wood here, and then we've just got to alter the platform slightly. I didn't think about that. That's fine. We can just alter the platform ever so slightly, just like this, and then that looks just fine to me. So we can still access the stairs. That looks good. We also have to join this platform here. We're actually going to use birch fence for this. We're going to join the little mini platform up to the actual like living space just up above us using some birch fence, so it looks as though it's like hanging down. It just looks like support. It just looks a little bit better that way, I think. And we've made some really good progress. Like this is the main part of the build complete. Everything else from here is actually kind of just a little bit of decoration, and what we can do for this is to decorate, and we might be needing some more of these later on, but what we've just put away: oak trapdoors, leaves, ladders, shovel, hose, seeds, poppy, lanterns, water buckets. And basically what we're going to do, and where do we even start? Okay, let's start at the bottom of the tree and we'll work our way up. I'm going to place a little collection of leaves here just by the entrance, just like this. And again, it's just to kind of like give that impression that, you know, it's a nice alive tree. I'm going to use leaves to kind of also create kind of like a boundary around the base of our tree. So it's basically going to be a half moon shape, a semicircle if you like. And it's just going to like curve around the edge of the house here, just at the bottom, and I'm pretty happy with that. That's a pretty decent looking shape. I'm going to place a little bit of a grass path out here, just leading from the entrance, and the entrance is basically just going to just come to the outer boundaries here, just like that. So you know where to go with the path. We can place some flowers, some poppies around the right side of the path. Hopefully that means people won't trample. They can hopefully quite see that there's nothing really going on that way. If you want, you can have a little bit of a farm underneath, just on the left side here. Make this a little bit more survivally. We can have our little beetroot farm. I like beetroots because of the colour. I think that, we might even expand that out just to make it a bit more of a pleasing shape as well. Just like this. You can use lanterns to decorate and provide a little bit of light, so like next to the entrance. You can place lanterns on any platform of the fence of any platform, kind of like this, to provide a little bit of light. You can even place oak leaves on the platforms as well, perhaps, if you wanted to. Just to again, I want to keep reiterating this to make it look a little bit more natural, to make it look a bit more like a tree as it is. We're even going to be using the oak leaves underneath the windows, and the windows are finally going to be finished by placing the trapdoors. See, I'm trying something a little bit new. I actually quite like that. Hopefully you guys do too. I think that it's quite an interesting window design in using both the pane and the glass block. And the oak trapdoors actually do a little bit, I think, in making it just look a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner. What else can we do? Well, we can also, I'm trying to think here, guys. I mean, I think that we've pretty much done everything except for the grand finale, the water. I think that everything is rather nicely decorated. Okay, we are missing something. The ladders. So we need a couple of sets of ladders. The first set of ladders here is going to take us from the base, the trunk of the tree, and the ladders are going to take us up to the platform here, and we can look out onto our world, and we have this little doorway out here onto the platform, and we would walk all the way up here, we would curl around the trunk of our tree, and we would get to this point, and we'd realize we can't get in our house. Well, we can place a set of ladders in here as well, and then we actually have access to the living space of the house as well. What else? Guys, I think that we're pretty much done. We're pretty much done. All we have to do is place some water, and this is how I place the water. Water will go right up at the top here. We're going to start up at the top. It will flow down into this U-bend here, or whatever you would call it. I think maybe a U-bend. We want to make the water still here in the bend, so as you're flowing down, the water will go here. We might not even need it. The water might actually carry you all the way down. We might not need that. Okay, so let's test this out. Okay, so we'll get rid of the... I guess leaves don't get rid of water. Hang on. Okay, let's see. So the water... We might not need it. Actually, gravity's doing all of our work for us. So let's give this a go. So let's... if we just stay in here... Will we... Okay, here's the thing. It's flowing back on itself there. So I don't know whether that... Does that do that further down? No, it does that perfectly. So, okay, I'll tell you what. Let's get rid of this source block here. Let's destroy that, and then let's see if... Did I... Oh, it might have been... That might have been my fault, actually. So let's destroy all of that, and then let's quite simply just place a water bucket just up at the top here and see if it flows down rather naturally. Yes, I think it is actually. Never mind. I'm trying to make this way more complicated than it has to be. Gravity will actually do its job, I think. I think that the water didn't need any help. I thought that I would have to make it still in the corners. I don't, apparently. And there you go. I'm not touching any controls or anything. I'm slowly just being taken to the bottom of the water slide. It's actually very, very pleasant. Yeah, perfect. I love this. That's great. I thought that it needed a little bit of manual movement, but it actually doesn't at all. That's great. And then it's up to you, like, if you want to make the water still at the base of the slide, or if you kind of want to be pushed to the edges. I think that that's up to you. I think I'm going to leave it flowing. Wait, I figured out what was missing. I figured it out. I knew there was something. So basically, if you want, you can integrate the top of the tree trunk and the platform together a little bit better by adding leaves around the base of the platform, aka the top of the trunk here. So it doesn't make a huge amount of difference, but it does make a difference. So you may want to do this. It's up to you how much of this you add, if any, whether you want to do it at all, but I think that it does just make it look a little, once again, a little bit more natural, a little bit more tree-like. So I don't even think it requires very much of it at all. There we go. That's the last thing. I knew that there was one little thing that I was forgetting. So this, ladies and gentlemen, is what your survival wooden treehouse will look like with a water slide once it has been 100% fully completed. I really hope that you guys have enjoyed making this as much as I have and as much as I enjoyed designing it. If you did enjoy this tutorial, please do hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. It helps me and the channel out very much. And subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Click that little bell next to the subscription button. That'll ensure that you get all my stuff sent directly to your sub box. And if you do want to make anything else by me, please do check out the card system, the description below, and the top of the comment section for more. You'll be able to find a nice little playlist filled with all sorts of recent survivally builds that I think that you guys might enjoy. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all very much, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That was perfectly timed. Goodbye.